Hi guys, in this video I wanted to talk about top 5 Apistos for unheated tanks. So when we think about dwarf cichlids, we often think about German blue rams, which require warm temperatures in order to thrive, but in reality there's quite a number of Apistos who can live perfectly and who even require unheated tanks. So I'll start with number 5. Apistogramma Combre is a relatively rare and not frequently available Apisto. It's not really colorful as well, so probably that's the reason why it's not as widespread as other Apistos. But it can live happily at much lower temperatures than many other Apistos. So it's been reported that it can thrive at temperatures at around 15 to 16 degrees Celsius, which is lower 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 4 is Apistogramma Atahualpa, which is also a relatively rare Apisto, but quite frequently available from specialist dealers, specialist sellers. It is another Peruvian species that can live at lower temperatures. It can live at approximately the same temperature range as Apistogramma Combre, so it will feel perfectly fine in unheated tank at about 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. You have to keep in mind that it's a relatively large Apisto, so it can grow up to 10 centimeters, and it's a really aggressive species. Number 3 is Apistogramma Benchy, also known as Apistogramma Inca. It is also from Peru, and it can live at similarly low temperatures to Atahualpa and Combre, so it will feel perfectly fine at 16 to 18 degrees Celsius in pretty much any unheated tank. It's a much more colorful and more peaceful species compared to Apistogramma Atahualpa, so it's perfect for small community tanks or larger community setups with other Peruvian temperate water fish. And number 2 is very famous Apistogramma Borelli. It's widely available in most aquatic stores. It's really colorful and quite popular. What many people don't know is that Borelli can live at really low temperatures, and they would actually feel themselves much more comfortable at lower temperatures without a heater. So they've been reported to live at temperatures as low as 10 to 12 degrees Celsius, and they would absolutely thrive at about 15 to 18 degrees Celsius. So in any unheated tank they would be really happy. And number 1, a very popular and widespread Cockatoo Apisto, which is available almost in any aquatic store. It's really colorful fish. There are lots of various selectively bred color varieties of this Apisto, and it's relatively small, it's relatively peaceful, and it can tolerate relatively low temperatures. So they can thrive at relatively low temperatures, so in the low 20s Celsius to about 18 Celsius. Yes, they cannot take such lower temperatures as some other species that I have talked about, for example Apistogramma Borelli, but they will do perfectly fine in unheated tank if you have around 20 degrees Celsius to about 23 degrees Celsius. Once the temperature goes above 23, they will feel less comfortable. For example, my own Apistogramma Cockatoo pair, they breed perfectly at 23 to 22 degrees Celsius, and they raise their fry at this temperature, so that's just perfect for them. In nature, Cockatoo Apistos live in Peru, and they tolerate a wide range of different water parameters, so water is changing from relatively warm in certain periods, in certain seasons, to relatively cool in other seasons. Same goes for pH and general hardness, so it kind of all fluctuates, and that's why Cockatoo Apistos are quite adaptable and flexible in terms of water parameters. When you're purchasing your Apistos, your dwarf cichlids, you can use their distribution as a rough guide as to whether they would be able to live in unheated tanks. We can divide the distribution of Apistos into several areas. First, we have this area here up north of South America. This is the Orinoco River Basin and Guyana and Suriname. Most Apistos species from this area, they would require warmer temperatures because these are relatively warm tropical areas. Second area is here in Peru, foothills of Andes Mountains and western Brazil. These are relatively cooler areas as well because they're close to Peru Andes Mountains, and Apistogramma species from this area they would prefer lower temperatures as well. So basically Apistogramma Atahualpa and Apistogramma Benchy as well as Cockatoo Apistos, they are from this area here. Then we have the Amazon River Basin here. Most of the Apistos species from this area here, they would require warmer temperatures because they live in tropical rainforest in tropical areas in all the tributaries of Amazon River. And lastly, we have this lower range of Apistos habitats in southern Brazil, in Bolivia and Paraguay. These are states of Mato Grosso and Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil. These are Pantanal areas and these are wetlands areas. These areas are cooler than Amazon River Basin, so Apistos species from this region, they're likely to tolerate lower temperatures as well. So it always makes sense to check where a particular Apistos species is originally from in order to figure out whether they would be able to live at cooler or temperate temperatures. So I hope this video was useful for you, and it will hopefully help you in selecting Apistos for your unheated tank. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye.